Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. In today's video is my pits and peaks of the week. So in this video I like to talk about my pits for the week, so what didn't go so well, and my peaks for the week, so what went well for this week. So we will start with the pits first so that we can end on a high with the peaks. So this week for my pits, I feel like I've been in the pits all week this week. I went for my second COVID vaccination on Tuesday of this week and I felt pretty crap all of this week. You might not be able to tell, but I still have sort of a red welt on my arm here where I had my jab. I knew going into the second jab, because I have the Pfizer, that the second dose is higher than the first, which means that you might get some sort of symptoms and things like that of like fever and things, which I definitely had for the first couple of days. The first day or two I hardly slept a wink, and my sleep was very broken for the first couple of days, and I was very lacking in energy, headachy, felt like I had a really foggy head and just generally didn't feel well in myself. Not only that, but my arm was killing me for most of the week. Like, I couldn't move my arm very much at all if I sort of lifted it up without being in pain, if you will. So that meant that I didn't get in any gym sessions this week. I just felt very rough and didn't want to sort of compromise on form with regards to sort of strength training, because I couldn't lift this arm without it being sore basically. The soreness has lasted pretty much all week. The leaflet said that it would last like 24 to 48 hours, but I felt like it's been sore for at least 5 days, and it's only been like the last couple of days that it hasn't really been sore when I've lifted my arm. It is sort of still tender to the touch, but other than that it's been fine. And just sort of when I've got over everything, I've lost the motivation to work out. So the last 2 or so days when I've been sort of feeling fine in myself, I haven't had the motivation to work out, so I'm classing both of those as a pit. I've basically been in the pits all week. So yeah, I think I had maybe some sort of small reaction to the jab. The fact that it's still sore now, and the fact that it's still sort of hard where the injection was, and the redness and things that I've experienced this week, I must have had some sort of small reaction to it, but I'm fine now. So yeah, it's just sort of getting back to normal after this, but it has affected sort of my exercise and just general routine this week. So yeah, that is my pit for the week. Not really being able to exercise and just generally feeling under the weather. We will get on to my peaks next to sort of end on a high for the week, if we even can. I did do one run this week. It was earlier on in the week. I think it might have been the day of my jab. Otherwise it might have been a few days after my jab. I really can't remember what went on this week. But I have been for a run, and it was on the treadmill. I did a 5k again, so the peak of this being that I am still managing to get that consistent 5k in. So that is good. I'm happy with the fact that I can still get the 5k on the treadmill. I obviously haven't run outside, so I haven't been able to work on that. And I was aiming to do park run this weekend, which I've not been able to do. I just didn't know whether I was going to feel up to it going into it at the weekend, so I just put it off this week. Might venture there next week. But yeah, happy that I still managed to get a 5k run in. It's not the 2 that I hoped I was going to do, and I didn't really get an outside run, so I'm going to have to make up for that next week. But yeah, at least I got some sort of exercise in this week, even if I didn't do anything else. I have obviously still been doing my 10k steps a day, which has had me moving at least, so I haven't just been sort of couch potato. So yeah, I'm classing that as a peak, that I've still sort of moved my body this week. The next peak, and I will put a screenshot here, is of my Nutricheck 7-day view. The only off day that I had this week was on the day of my COVID jab, where we just decided that we were going to go for a Burger King afterwards. I am quite nervous and anxious when it comes to getting any sort of needles, like blood tests, injections, vaccinations, things like that. I am really just not for it at all, and it was quite anxious and things like that going into the vaccination, so we just sort of didn't want to have to cook or do anything afterwards, so we went for a Burger King. and that put me quite over my calories, and had half a big bar of like Aero white chocolate as well. So I just sort of wanted to have a little bit of that comfort food after my vaccination. The peak for this week is that I've not managed to go over my calories on any other day other than that day. I am not one of those people where when I feel shoddy I don't eat. That's just not me. If I feel shoddy or I feel anxious or nervous and things like that, I do tend to comfort eat, and food makes me feel better. So the fact that I've not lent towards comfort eating during this week when I felt crap is a big win. So I'm going to take that as my peak of the week, that I've not lost control of my eating this week while I've not been feeling too well, and I've managed to rein in and keep the calories under. So going into next week, I want to continue most of what I've done this week with regards to eating, maybe rein back the calories a little bit more, because I've only been under by about 100 calories every day, which I would like to sort of rein that back a little bit more. But other than that, I'm happy with how last week went in terms of calories and eating, so I'd be fine if I had the same week this week as I did next week as I did this week. Other than that, I want to ramp up my exercise again. I am very apprehensive going into next week. I have a full week off work with Philip, and usually when Philip is off I don't tend to exercise when he's at home. He is obviously tracking with me now. I can't remember whether I've mentioned it, I'm sure I have, but he's still tracking his calories, which is good. So he's sort of on board with weight loss and things like that, and he wants to exercise next week, so there's no reason why we can't get in the runs and the gym sessions next week. Obviously because I'm feeling better I should be able to do them, so that is that. But the other sort of apprehension going into next week is that usually when we're off we tend to eat out, and I don't want to be over my calories all of next week. So I'm going to have to try and rein that in a bit, and either make better choices when we do eat out or don't eat out as much. The fact that Philip is on board with calories and tracking and things like that at the moment means that we both should be a little more in control. But we'll just have to see how it goes. So hopefully I'll get in my 2 runs and at least 2 gym sessions this week. I'm hoping for 3 so that I can get my full body done from last week, and at least 2 other gym sessions. But I still need to find that balance because I've not found that balance yet. So hopefully I'll find that this week. But that's basically what's going on and what's coming up. I don't think I have anything else to sort of mention. So I'll just end it here like this. So if you like the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and you can always click the notification bell down below and you'll be notified of when my next video goes live. Other than that, I hope you're all staying safe and well. I hope you all have a good weekend, whenever it is that you're watching this, and I'll see you again in my next video. Bye.